it had been. I did spend time in British Columbia, and I have lived there a bit over the course of my lifetime. And by the time I got there, though, I don't think there was any pattern to when the shows were taking place.
And then they started using as the major title the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship sometime around 1970, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember the
They
exact year, but that,
they had used the British Empire Heavyweight Championship, but then they changed. I think maybe to
yeah, that was a little confusing because, uh, there was such a title recognized in the Toronto territory, also in the Vancouver territory, and I don't think there was always agreement between the two. I mean, you could have two British Empire champions. Um, but yeah, the Pacific Coast title became a pretty significant title, often dominated by Kiniski, as actually was the case in 75. He held it a couple of times that year. But yeah, 1970 may well be the year in which that title was named such.
so they kicked off 75 in January. There was a card on January 20th. Guy Mitchell, who a lot of us who grew up with the Tennessee territory did not know it at the time, but he worked as an assassin under a mask down here in the South. But he worked as himself in Vancouver, and he beat Kaniski for the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. And he was working, I believe, as a babyface at the time. Uh,
He was, yeah, he came into the territory a couple of years earlier as Mr. X under a mask. I mean, he had played masked characters before, particularly the Strangler and the Assassin. And, he came in as Mr. X, and, he did well as a heel. And, oh, after about a year, in that role, yeah, he turned, and it was one of those babyface turns that people, still comment on. I do go to the All-Star Wrestling in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s Facebook page. I think that's what it's called. And I think I've seen reference to that. I remember that very well. I mean, he appeared on TV one week without his mask. He lost the mask in a match, I think, to Kaniski.
hmm.
And he delivered a very good interview. He got people on his side, and he was really one of the mainstays of the Vancouver promotion during that mid 70s era. And yeah, along with Kaniski, he was one of those dominant wrestlers in 1975 in Vancouver. And for my money, certainly an underrated guy overall. I mean, he had a very, very good career.
Guy Mitchell was a very big guy too. He would have matched up well with Kaniski with a similar kind of style. I mean, and when he was working as a heel, I mean, he was a rough and tough character, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and their matches were pretty straightforward. They were entertaining. There was nothing silly about them. I mean, um, they were great for the time sometimes, and yeah, those two guys were mainstays in